Well, good afternoon, folks, or good morning, or good evening, or whatever. Welcome, boys and girls, also, to another splendid edition.
That's right.
Of the Bill Crane Report with Dwayne Weiss, my good friend. And we're going to give you all our unique thoughts on the problems of the day.
Absolutely. Try to entertain you, inform you, and maybe make you a little mad.
And scare you.
Yeah, and scare you, too. It scared me this morning.
I tell you what, we're doing this on Friday, the 12th.
Yep.
Friday the 13th comes on Saturday this week.
We're not worried about it this month.
No. But the hurricane is brewing up in the Gulf of Mexico, and it's knocking on the door of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And every single thing I get from the Weather Channel, it's worse. Every time they report.
20, now 25 inches. They're going to float away down there.
Well, you know, the real thing that they were showing was that levee.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That when it failed, it flooded the lowlands of the 9th District. Yeah.
I think
they're going to get it.
They're going to get it again.
Boy, I'll tell you, there's not 5 feet of that levee that's available to stop this.
No, I know. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, I got a couple of things. We'll put light stuff first. Me, it was a tragedy.
Okay.
To other people, it wasn't so much a tragedy. There was a horrible tragedy down in Kentucky. There was a fire at the Jim Beam Distillery. That's my favorite bourbon, folks.
Really?
Listen to this. 47,000 barrels went up. That's just a drop in the bucket to those people.
Yeah, I think it was 1.2% of their annual production.
Production. Yeah. But it said
still a shame, huh?
It got into the river, and it caused fish kills. Yeah. But I understand they all died with a smile on their face. Because that's a lot of bourbon, folks.
As it goes further downstream, it dissipates quite quickly.
Yeah, the crowd's dripping the stuff out of the river was not so crowded when it got down towards man. And another thing happened. I'm a farm boy, so when I see this, it strikes me as funny. Boston Globe, Tuesday, a picture of a bovine jumping over people. Of course, it's the idiots in, was it Pamplona, Italy?
Pamplona, Spain.
Spain, rather, that run with the bulls.
Yeah.
And then a bull catches them, gores them, knocks them down, hurts them. Then everybody goes, oh, my God, how could that happen? Well, you fool. You're teasing an 1,800, 2,000-pound animal with big, long horns.
And you do it while you're probably drunk.
Oh, absolutely drunk. Well, here they got a picture of one that's jumping over the top of the crowd. That, in fact, is immaterial. I like how they described the animal.
Oh, boy.
A heifer bull.
Heifer bull?
Yeah. Now, folks, for you city slickers, a heifer is a young female bovine, not a cow yet. She's of breedable age, but not bred, and she becomes a cow when she has a calf. A bull is born as a male calf. He stays a bull until sometime in his life he has the unfortunate situation of losing his manhood, let's say. Then he becomes a steer. But a heifer bull, I know what it is, Bill. The LBGT crowd has gotten, we now have transgendered bovines. This was either a bull that had a sex change operation and became female, or a female that had the sex change and become male.
This didn't happen in Wisconsin, did it?
God, no. They know the difference. I send this to my brother-in-law. He raises beef cattle.
Well, that would confuse him no end.
Really, do you have anything like a heifer bull? He says, I got everything else, but no heifer bulls. So much for the frivolity.
So much for the frivolity.
That's right.
Well, I was listening to a very interesting young man on Fox the other day, Rob Smith of Turning Point USA. And he brings up a great point. He was mad. Now, he's a young black man who had been a Democrat and has gone over full blast to the Republican side of things. He said the Democratic plan for free medical care and open borders sells out the commitment to the black community. If anyone deserves affordable health care, it's the descendants of slaves, victims of segregation, Jim Crow laws, and on the bottom rung of the economic ladder. Instead, the Democrats want to give all the goodies to undocumented aliens. The blacks claim this is not fair. I can understand where they're coming from.
Oh, I can too. But
the Democrats they're like a shotgun.
Yeah.
All right, loaded with birdshot.
oh, absolutely.
And they're firing it, and the shot's going here, there, everywhere. And they're doing things without thinking them through. And I'm not going to help them think it through either.
No, yeah, but you watch them, and they all got these ideas, these harebrained schemes. And our Elizabeth Warren is one of the worst.
Oh,
Throwing these ideas out that are, first of all, unworkable. Two, if they were workable, they're not affordable. We can't afford, this country can't afford things like that. No matter what she says of tax the rich. But, Elizabeth, I know you're watching this. You are some of the rich. You and your hubby are rich. We should be taking 70% of your income if that's the way you feel.
I don't know why Elizabeth continues to snub us and not come on our show.
I don't either. We send out the invitation, and we figured she'll just jump at it.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen.
But anyway, I'll come to it, but I do have her list of things she wants to do. Shades of MI5. A 22-year-old man scaled a fence and entered Buckingham Palace during the night and was within feet of the bedroom of the sleeping queen. Heads should roll over this.
Yeah, we don't know what obviously we don't know their security arrangements because they're pretty tight.
Oh yeah,
Unlike we do, we broadcast everything. Well, mostly some we don't, but we are much more open with what we can do and what we can't do. But I suspect it's probably pretty tight there.
I would guess.
But you never hear anything about it.
Although the last time someone broke in, she actually sat on her bed with him.
Yeah, that's right.
And talked to him.
Didn't she?
Yeah, for 20 minutes until somebody arrived.
Yep.
Ay, ay, ay. West Virginia has the highest opioid overdose death rate in the U.S.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me neither.
Bill and I traveled West Virginia area, and if you've never been there, it is an eye opener.
It's like another country.
It is.
You know?
The poverty is extreme.
Yeah.
We don't. I've seen a little bit of that in northern Maine, way up towards the border, but not a lot. But there you can go for miles and miles and miles, in one place after the next after these.
Just shacks.
Just shacks.
Yeah. It's built on the side of hills, and when they get rain, they wash away.
Yep.
Then they rebuild them. But if you don't have anything else,
No, there's
what
nothing
the hell
there.
are you going to do?
There used to be coal business, but that over the years has closed. The mines have closed. The factories have closed. Whatever they were processing.
Well, they've reopened some of the mines.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
But it's still not like it was.
No.
No. And not only that, but their educational level is lacking.
Yep.
Medical care is
practically
poor.
non-existent.
Yep. I was traveling to West Virginia from Kentucky, and I needed a haircut. So I stopped at a barbershop. It was right on the Kentucky, West Virginia border. Went in, and there was about 4 guys in there. And they never stopped talking when I went in. I just went in, sat down, got the local newspaper, and started reading it. And one guy was saying, well, my leased land he says, there's two guys that he says I have seen in there shooting at my deer. And he said, I told them, I said, never want to see them there again. And if I do see them there again, I'm going to shoot them. And the other guys just, you know, you got to do what you got to do, but you can't let them in there and start shooting your deer. I mean, you're paying dearly to lease that land.
That's right.
But they were talking about it like you and I would talk about taking the dog to the vet for a shot.
That's right. But it's a different way of life.
That's right.
Totally different.
Yeah. And they didn't really give a rat's patoot about me being there. No. And it wasn't like they were bragging either. It was just a very matter-of-fact conversation that these two guys are no damn good. Neither one of them work. This one's been in and out of jail. And he said, I'm just going to put a hole in him. He said, that's going to be the end of it, because I'm not going to have him in there, and I've told him. And the other guy says, well, you know, do what you got to do, and if you need a hand, let me know.
One of my best friends lives in the edge of Appalachia. And he bought when Kelly Springfield closed, it was part of Goodyear, and he didn't want to move to Waco, Texas with him, obviously. But so he ended up buying this country bar restaurant place, and he said, and we've been down there to see the area and stuff, but he said, they're just like you described. Matter of fact, this is how it is. He said, but they're the most loyal, nicest people if you're with them. He said he could leave his bar open at night and just walk away, and these people just by walking by will watch it for him. They won't take a thing. And if some stranger comes in, they're going to grab him. But he said, if you mess with them and want to do something to them, look out.
They have no sense of humor when it comes to something like that.
Oh, no.
They'll cut you one break.
Yep.
Second break, it's all over.
Yep.
I mean, they're going to be on you, and you're going to pay a big price for what you've done. Yeah. They're straight shooters.
Yep.
But boy, don't do it again.
That's right.
Illegal immigrants captured and deported under President Obama.
Yep.
4 million.
It was not considered just terrible when he did it.
Under President Bush.
Same thing.
10 million.
Yep.
Under President Clinton.
Yep.
12 million.
That's right.
What's this all about?
Well, you would think that we just started doing that.
Yeah.
Like we never did that before. We never took out or picked up illegal aliens and shipped them out. But it's Trump. But
That's right.
They completely ignore that this has been going on for administration after administration after administration, probably more so than it is today.
Yeah. Oh, much more so.
Because today you can't just do it.
Isn't it interesting, though, that now these undocumented immigrants have rights,
Oh,
but before they didn't?
yeah. Well, did you see our illustrious senator's latest scheme on immigration?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She's going to put it when she's president, she will have public defenders defending anybody that's going to get deported. Now, what she's doing is fighting against herself because her administration wants to deport somebody, and she's got lawyers coming in saying, no, you can't. Well, honey, what is it? It's either one or the other.
Yeah.
But she doesn't realize a lot of things that she proposes are contradictory to each other.
She's also going to, by executive order,
Yep.
have a pathway to citizenship for all the illegals.
Yep. And no cap on
None.
immigration. It's not illegal to cross the border. And then she says, well, we should take in 125,000 a year. Well, why are you putting a quota when you already said there's no cap and there's no crime for coming in?
We take 1 million people
Oh,
from
yeah.
around the world in every year.
Every year.
125,000. If she ever said that, there would be millions coming and crossing the border. So, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, the woman is a joke. An absolute joke.
Problem is she's a dangerous joke.
It's not funny.
It's not funny. We got the four horsemen there, the four idiots.
Yeah, Ayanna Pressley, AOC.
Cortez.
Yep, and the
Omar,
and
Talib or Halib.
Yeah.
We got apparently 2 Islamics, 1 Puerto Rican and 1 black.
Yep.
We got Presleys from here. Those 4 come up with the stupidest ideas.
Well, they certainly do. And boy, I guess Nancy Pelosi read them the riot act yesterday.
Yep.
And they ended up walking away laughing.
Oh yeah, but she's right. Those 4 can get Trump reelected.
Oh yeah.
And those 4 can lose the control of the House on their part.
Those 4, look, common sense America.
Yep.
All right. 80% of Americans consider themselves to be moderate.
Yeah, middle,
moderate left, moderate right, but moderate.
Centrist.
Yeah. And there's not a centrist in the world that's going to vote for these people. It's going to be from one wacko wing or the other.
Yep.
This is one that you're going to love, and I hope you've seen this. But you know how you and I talk about stupid commercials? And how they show men?
Always the dummy.
How about this one? Have you seen the one about the bathroom remodeling and where the 2 grinning idiots are wielding sledgehammers?
Yep.
Now for the best part of the demo work. And they're stopped by the little lady wife that says the work's all done. Yep. And the guy is, the technician is shown polishing the walls of it. And they're crestfallen. Now, both of them white guys with idiot grins on their faces.
Well, of course.
What would happen if you and I did that ad and we had 2 black guys?
Or women.
Or women.
Playing the dummy part.
Or Hispanics.
Oh, my God.
Or Asians. Or Jewish people.
They would go crazy.
You and I would be taken outside and shot.
Yep.
Or worse.
Or hung.
Or one.
Yeah.
One or t'other. Volkswagen is ending production of the last version of the Beetle.
Yep. And that thing is, what, 1936 they started with that thing.
Ferdinand Porsche designed it.
Ferdinand Porsche, that's exactly right.
The prototype came out in 36 and they started producing them in 38.
People's car, Volkswagen.
Yeah. Yep. Volks is people, Wagen is car. It's been sold all over the world. In its unique form is as recognizable as a Coke bottle. I took that out of the story. I didn't think of that one.
I read that one.
Well, here's a couple of sad stories. These are going to infuriate you.
All right.
Private club for women executives to expand. Chief, a private club for the powerful women of New York City, launched in January with 200 members in a party in Tribeca. 6 months later, the network has 5,000 people waiting list. Nationwide demand, and now money to grow. Chief on Tuesday announced a $22 million Series A investment round. Blah, 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 blah. Chief plans to use the money to expand in New York and open chapters in LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Boston, and Washington by the end of 2020. Unlike women's trade groups or other professional networks, Chief's only interested in women who are already successful, defined as a job at the vice president level or higher. Often members get their employers to cover the cost of the annual dues, which are set between $5,400 to 7,800, depending upon experience level. They get access to the Tribeca Clubhouse, a Slack channel, and events with speakers like Whoopi Goldberg and Valerie Jarrett.
Worth the money.
Tell me something.
Yes, sir.
If you and I opened up a private club for successful men,
Again,
they would come in here with gasoline, pour it on us, and set us on fire.
yep.
Men don't have the rights to do this.
There's such a double standard today.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And absolutely unbelievable. You know, we're an endangered species.
Yeah, we are.
Successful white men.
Well, you know, we were uneducated, deplorable white men, according to Hillary Clinton.
And we smell bad.
And we probably smell bad too.
I embarrassed my wife yesterday. Sort of.
I do that every day. So
Yeah.
Not your wife, my
No,
wife.
no. We went up to lunch up to Olive Garden.
Okay.
Charming little waitress. And I said, Dad, tell me something. I said, can you tell me what brand of perfume you're wearing? I said, because you smell awful good for a girl.
I admit, that could have been phrased a little bit different.
She laughed and she told me the name of it, Jerry Birch.
Okay. No, I have said to, you know, so like a waitress come by, what is that? That is really nice.
I know.
And most of them, they don't get this. Why, you know,
No, she
they laugh.
She was a very cute little girl. Not a little girl either. I'd say 26, 28 years old.
Yep.
Probably a school teacher that's off for the summer or a college student off for the summer or something. But she was very helpful and very nice. And she got a Super Billy tip for being nice. Alabama law ends rapists' parental rights. Do you realize that they had a law down there
Yep.
that said if a rapist
That's right.
impregnated a woman, he had a right to visit that child
Parental rights.
and take part in the child's upbringing.
Yeah, that was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Well, they've known this. This is known as Jesse's Law, and it severs the parental rights of people who sexually assault their own children. But the 10-page measure includes one sentence with a much larger scope. It said terminates all parental rights of any person convicted of sexually assaulting anyone else. A very, very good common sense law.
That's right.
Would seem to me. Well, Duncan Hunter, a Republican from California, is under new allegations of taking money out of his campaign funds to spend on entertainment, trips, dinners, and drinks with women whom he has been romantically involved.
I don't know about the women, but the politicians in Beacon Hill have been doing that for centuries.
Men have been doing this for centuries.
They've always used that election or that political fund
Sure.
as their own personal fund.
Working with a voting coordinator.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
Let me ask you something. Were you surprised with the RMV's latest scandal?
Not at all.
Not at all. Me neither.
The Registry of Motor Vehicles is the graveyard for dying politicians.
It's where they dump
That's
their
right.
favors. That's if you owe a politician a favor, he'll get you a job at the RMV.
Or if you are a rep or a senator and you lose your election,
Yep.
whammo, right into the RMV.
You don't have
and
to
you get
know
one-
anything. You don't have
Nope.
to do anything. Just sit there
You're
and
a
look pretty.
a field coordinator at
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
$110,000 a year.
And now 7 people are dead because of that.
Yep.
When DeLeo said back years ago when the scandal broke with the, I believe, the probation department about cronyism and sticking these people in jobs as nepotism or favoritism for politicians. DeLeo ended up right away, he huffs and puffs and says, we've got to stop that. And when they started looking at it, he was one of the biggest offenders.
Of course.
And then he says, and get this, folks, well, that's how we do business in Massachusetts. We've always done it that
That's
way.
right.
It doesn't harm anything.
It's the
Well,
patronage
The
system.
patronage system, that's right. But now 7 people are dead because of that. 7 people. And they were good people, too. They were Marine vets that needlessly died because some nincompoops at the RMV couldn't do anything. They just sat there and sat on their hinder and waited for their 22 years to retire.
43 boxes
Yeah, thousands of
inputs from states around the country
Yep.
about people that have run amok there, and Massachusetts should revoke their driver's license.
And they didn't even
they
bother
didn't
to open them, most of them.
No,
No, well, they
Well,
want me
they're
to do that. Well,
tired. It's summertime.
much-
We're on
I ain't gonna work that
vacation,
hard.
and- yeah, and
Now,
besides,
if we had, I don't know what's going on there either, but I would have expected that the Attorney General that we have in this state, well, we don't really have an Attorney General. We have a woman that thinks she is an Attorney General, but she's just padding her resume to run for another political office.
exactly.
As they usually do in that office. You would think that she would be right there saying, I've got an investigation going, we're going to file criminal actions, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You don't hear a word from her.
She's investigating the state police overtime stuff.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
going to only be going on for a year.
Or
She's-
Microsoft someplace that has nothing to do with us
She's
whatsoever.
investigating the judge
Yep.
that his daughter was arrested for drunken driving or drug driving, and she called her daddy and blah,
Yeah,
blah,
well, he
blah.
called-
Oh, she's investigating that too. When the hell are we going to hear about those investigations?
Nothing ever comes of her investigations.
Nothing. She's had that investigation going so long, she got about 11 coats of whitewash on it. It ought to be ready for us at any time now. Millennials. 49% work an extra job earning an average of $13,000 a year.
Yep.
Hooray for them. You know what? You're young once,
Yep, but
and it makes sense. While you're young, before you have a family, before you get married, find an extra job.
oh yeah.
And put some money away, or pay your student loans, or
Pay your
no,
student
don't-
loans. Haven't you been watching our illustrious Democratic candidates for president?
It's just in the talking stage.
They want to eliminate those debts and eliminate tuition.
Youth crime bill would hike age to 21. Now, this is
That should infuriate you.
advocates say that teenagers and young adults, folks, listen carefully. Advocates say that teenagers and young adults do not yet have the brain development to allow them to fully gauge their actions, so they should not be held to the same level of responsibility as adults. Well, if that's the case, they should not have the right to vote until they're 21.
Exactly.
They shouldn't have the right to drive until they're 21, enter into contracts until 21, get mortgages, marry, or have children until they're 21.
Well said. That's exactly the reaction I had when I read that.
Yep.
You can't take one part and make an exception and just ignore everything else.
That's right. That's right. Either he's a fish or a fowl.
That's
one
right.
or t'other. Well,
But we are such Looney Tunes in this state the last few years.
let me tell you, I ran into one of the Looney Tunes mothers at Barnes & Noble the other day. I went to Barnes & Noble on a very innocent mission to buy my wife an extravagant birthday present. And the lady that helped me said, well, here you are. And I said, thank you very much. She said, I can ring them up for you here. I said, well, that's marvelous of you. here's my card, and here's my 10% off Barnes & Noble card. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so the transaction's done, right? She takes the 2 books and slides them to me and said, "You'll want to carry these, right?" I said, "No."
No.
I said, "Please put them in a bag."
They don't look like I stole
Yeah,
them.
I like them in the traditional fashion with the 2 handles on top. I find it very easy to carry them. I said, "It doesn't hurt anybody, but it helps me." And under her breath, she goes, "Yeah, only hurts the kids on the planet." I said, "Now you wait a minute.
Yep.
Hold the phone. Don't you send me on a guilt trip
Yeah,
because
that's right.
I'm asking for a plastic bag. You talk to your employer that gives you the plastic bags and tells you to use
Oh,
them."
that would
I said,
infuriate me.
where do you get off acting like this?
Yep.
And she just looked at me and glared at me. And if glare could kill, you folks would be talking about my wake and who was going to have the funeral service, because she would have killed me right on the spot.
I know it wouldn't have done any good, but I would have made a fuss. I would have went. I've asked for the manager. At that
Next
point.
time I get down there, I will.
You probably won't get any.
Of
The
satisfaction.
manager at
Nope.
Barnes and Noble is probably just as bad as she is, but it just gives me a satisfaction.
Here is the thing that rips me.
Yep.
If you ever were to go shopping with me, and I have done this a million skillion times, paper or plastic, I always choose paper. And I always say to the kid bagging it, I said, "Do you know where plastic comes from?" "A plastic tree?" I said, "No."
Yeah, plastic tree.
"Yeah." "No, I don't know." "A big factory." I said, "Plastic comes from petroleum." I said, "Paper comes from
Trees.
trees." I said, "A renewable natural resource." I said, "You can burn the paper afterwards, or it will just merely waste away. But it's harmless." Okay? I've done this time and time again. I'm not one of these nutbags on plastic bags or on either or. But I'm a nutbag on a lot of other things, but not on the bags. But she really ticked me, her attitude.
She had no place saying that.
Nope.
None whatsoever.
Yep.
And as far as plastic bags go, the recycling rate for plastic bags is less than 1%. People don't take them back and have them recycled. That's why they're in the landfills and they're in every place else, because you're too damn lazy to take them back. And then you blame the plastic bag. It's not the plastic bag, it's the plastic bag user.
We have 2 bags in my house where we stuff plastic bags. I have no idea, my wife knows, I have no idea what the difference is between the 2 bags.
Okay.
And here's the funny part about it is, this is good. Keeps them separate. And we bring them over to Roach Brothers, and we take and stuff them in the same hopper. And the newspaper bags. I have my newspapers, the Herald and the Globe, delivered to my door. I save the bags, and when I get, 25 or 50 of them, put a big elastic band around them and throw them on the doorstep, and she takes them and recycles them. So don't blame me for plastic bags flying around, but it's lazy and dopey people.
That's right.
That if I had my way, we'd use paper bags, all of them. Figure out some way to reinforce them a little bit, and if you have to pay 3 cents extra for them, so what?
Yeah, I don't mind paper bags if they're real bags. I like the ones with a handle on
Yeah,
them.
but the ones with the handle is just pasted on.
Yeah, they come apart.
Man.
I can just see, though, all the advocates that are just up and down. We got to get rid of plastic. You got to have paper. Got to have paper. The next time she walks out of Stop and Shop, with her holding her bags like this, and the bottom falls out, and she loses about $40 or $50 worth of groceries broken on the floor, on the ground. She's not going to be so advocate of that paper bag.
Nope. People, they like to complain about things, but then when they're faced with the alternatives,
Yep.
well, just
you don't want the
shrug their
responsibility
shoulders.
that comes with it. Is what it is.
Since Election Day, by the way, the folks that are complaining about President Trump, well, his big tax cut, they took care of the rich, but they're not taking care of me. Yeah, well, since Election Day 2016, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 47%.
Reached a new record yesterday again.
It's up over 48 now.
See?
The S&P 500 is up 40, and the NASDAQ is up 57.81%. Oh, well, yeah, but those are just for rich people. Folks, 52% of the people in this country have a 401k
That's right.
or an IRA. And guess what's in your IRA or your 401k? Stocks.
Believe it or not, not those dirty, nasty corporations.
And you know what? If you're that hurting that you can't figure it out, why don't you go to an adult along with your quarterly statement on your investments and have them read it to you? And when you see that you're up 20% or 25%, hey, I didn't know that. But people love to complain.
Oh, and mislead.
And mislead.
Joe Biden. He portrays himself as a lunch bucket son of a Scranton blue collar. Why, he is just down to earth. He's not part of the 1%. I got an article here from the Wall Street Journal. You care to guess what he and his wife made last year?
$16 million.
$15 million.
$15 million.
15 million. Now here's the good part. He likes to give speeches. You think he does that for the goodness of his heart? He gets on the average for a regular speech $235,000 for a 40-minute speech. That's pretty damn good pay.
I wouldn't spend $2 to watch him stand on his head and spin for an hour.
Oh, but here, he has a soft side.
Oh, dear.
If you're a nonprofit educational institution,
Half
and you want
price.
to, no, he'll come for $190,000.
He better start walking with a backward tilt so that heart doesn't fall out of his chest.
God. Yeah, talk about the rich and the powerful doing this and that. It's like that damn Elizabeth Warren telling you that, oh, we got to do this, and the rich people and the rich people. You are the rich person. And Biden or Bernie.
Sanders.
He used to talk about the millionaires and the billionaires, and then somebody pointed out that he is a millionaire. Then, well, now he just says billionaires.
Yeah. You know, and another thing too. The economy has created 5 million jobs since President Trump was elected, with virtually no inflation. I mean, that's almost magic.
Oh, and by the way, Joe Biden is what's called a S-corp millionaire. Mm-hmm. That's a tax dodge where you take your income through an S. I don't know. It's something to do with the tax code.
Schedule S.
Schedule S, and then you avoid paying income taxes on certain parts of it.
That's exactly right.
I mean, here's a guy that just holier than thou, and you expect him wrapping himself in the flag, etc. He's out there dodging and weaving the taxes like the worst of them.
I worked for a guy that rigged his company so that it was a Schedule S company.
Oh, okay.
I said, how can you possibly do this?
I didn't really know much about it until I started reading some of these articles in the journal.
He basically said, they haven't caught me, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the people that complain that nothing has been done for them, is it possible they are too stupid to look at their pay stubs and see the change in the withholding tax? 82%, it is estimated, have more money in their checks each week. or to check their 401k and IRA and see the change upward. Yes, I'm afraid that's the truth. They cannot see or figure out what it all means. And that's shame on our educational system.
Well, that's we don't want to know.
No.
We are told that the tax break is not for you, it's just for the rich.
Yeah.
We don't want to know anything else. That's what they told us.
That's right. Yeah. You know, they also, if you talk to them, do you realize that you can get a 3.5% 30-year mortgage right now?
Oh, yeah.
You could finance a brand new car for under 5%, 4.7 or something like that. The little guy hasn't been affected. The little guy's done darn well, I'll tell you. By the way, the latest polling from Wall Street Journal says 71% of the people polled are optimistic on the economy. You know, so tell me something, Dwayne.
Yep.
Are you going to run out and buy one of those home appliance insurance companies?
You mean the policy?
Yeah.
No.
If your appliance fails and can't be repaired, we will replace it
A big deal.
at full price and charge you to take away the old one. Of
course.
I mean,
Look, it's like today, if your microwave goes in the fritz, who's going to fix that thing? You can go to Walmart and buy a new one for $40. Or the coffee pots, toasters, $9.99.
go to St.
$11.99.
Vincent de Paul, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah,
They
pick
get
a
them
new one
over
there.
there for $10.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. But you know of them all, the worst one, True Car. This is the way new car buying was meant to be.
Yep.
See, at True Car, we compile statistics on the model of the car you're interested in, and we know the price, the average price it sells for, so you know whether you're getting a good deal or not.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know whether you folks have ever gone shopping for a new car and really, I know you have, but really walked your way through the lot and look at the same car with different sticker prices on it. Whoa, this one here's got an 8-way power seat. Oh, this one's got a leather interior. That's a different price. This one's got high performance tires. That's another price. This one's got this and that.
Yeah,
They're not the same. So if you say, I want a Ford Fusion,
that's
the
right.
curve is going to look something like this. And if you have a stripped Fusion, you're going to be on the low end of the bell curve. And if you've got a loaded one, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
You know what else that car buying, and one I find amazing. If you don't want your car, if you don't like your car after what, 10 days?
3 days or 5 days,
or
yeah.
something, bring it back, we'll give you your money back.
Yeah.
But folks, when you bought that car, you paid sales tax on that car.
You ain't getting that back.
You ain't getting that back from the state. That's what, 5.25%?
Yeah, and when an excise tax rolls in from your town,
You ain't getting that
don't
back.
bother bringing that back
No.
either.
And if you went to register it, you paid all the registration fees, the
That's
title
right.
fees, and everything else. You're not getting that back from the
Registry
state.
does not refund money.
So you might have paid $20,000 for that car, or $30,000, or whatever it is, and you want your money back. Well, here it is. But you spent $38,000, $36,000.
That's right. They don't tell you that.
No, they don't bother you.
By the way, why is it, too, that people are upset about health care? And they blame President Trump for it, when they don't blame President Obama and Speaker of the House Pelosi.
Yeah.
We've got to spend this, so we've got to pass this legislation so we can see what's in it. I mean, if that isn't the lamest excuse,
That was a stupid excuse.
Yeah,
We got to pass it to see what's in
you
it.
know, our public servants do say stupid things, but that one
they
goes
do.
in the Hall of Fame. Coast Guard cadets face harassment. Almost half of female cadets at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy say they were sexually harassed, and about 1 in 8 reported experiencing unwanted sexual conduct. I don't know what the difference between being sexually harassed and unwanted sexual contact is, but let's say that guys are hitting on them. Guys have been hitting on women since time immemorial.
And women are hitting on men.
And women are hitting on men. And women are hitting on other women.
Oh, yeah.
And men are hitting on other men.
It's just one big happy party.
I think in life, the strongest motivational factor you have, the strongest drive you have in your life is the will to live. The second is sexual urges.
Reproduction.
Yep.
Exactly.
And I would be, very frankly, I would not believe this article if it said nothing like that's happening at the Coast Guard Academy. Everybody behaves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, give me a break. Look, if you want to stop this, women's barracks over here, men's barracks over here. Come back 4 years later when you graduate. Facebook. I got to talk about this. Dwayne, they are going to do everything they can to get more females working there, more people of color. They also want to get more handicapped, and they want to get more veterans. All right? So right now, Facebook has 63% male and 36.9% female.
Okay, I don't.
In technical roles, it is 77% men, 23% female.
Okay, that's
understandable.
Understandable. Look at your universities.
That's right.
Look who signs up for the electronics courses and the physics courses and the mechanics engineering courses. It's mostly all men.
Yeah.
It's not that, and this crap of saying, well, women aren't encouraged. Well, they're not discouraged or encouraged. The men are encouraged or discouraged.
It's choice. It is the person's choice what they want to do.
Which Harvard president got in big trouble by saying that something about?
Oh,
was it Summers?
I think it might have been, yeah.
Yeah, he said something about men tend to go towards the sciences and women tend to the liberal arts. Well, the harpies out there went crazy.
And what's wrong with that statement?
Nothing.
It's a statement of fact.
Yep.
Now, here is the thing with Facebook that absolutely amazes me. What percentage of U.S. operations are white? The employees are white.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
44%.
Okay.
Number two, Asians.
Yep.
43%.
Is this Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
44% white, 43% Asian.
I'm computer illiterate, so I don't.
Hispanics, 5.2. Blacks, 3.8. Mixture, 3.1.
Mm-hmm. And?
If you said 44% white, 43% Asian Americans, I would never have figured that out. I never would have guessed that. I mean, that's even Steven between whites and Asians.
Oh, I can see that. The Asians tend to take more difficult college classes, the maths, the sciences, the engineering classes, and then they end up in the high-tech jobs.
They're better educated.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and they have, there's a large Asian population on the West Coast anyway.
Oh, my
where all
God,
this
yes.
takes place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you tend to we talked about this before. There's a family thing about this too. An Asian family, if a kid comes home with a C, the parents want to know, how come you got a C? And when a kid comes home at night, they say, got your homework done? Yes, show it to me. Or else I'll work with you on this every single night. You get some of these parents that they don't give a damn whether the kid go to school or not. Well, of course you're going to get, the numbers are going to end up skewed like this.
You know, one of my Jewish friends told me that he always envied us, the Irish kids or whatever. He's because, you got to go out and play after school.
Oh, yeah, I heard that before.
And
yeah.
Saturdays, you had like a day off and you got to play and everything. I had to work my father's store.
Yep.
Yeah. And then they're successful.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what kind of price you want to pay for being successful.
Absolutely.
Oh, this is Maura Healey. This is what I was waiting for.
Okay.
Quote, huge drug bust will save hundreds of lives. Maura Healey. That one where they got a couple of, I forget how much.
Yeah, it was substantial.
So, huge drug bust will save hundreds of lives. Maura Healey. I thought drug trafficking was a nonviolent crime, and we should release all these victims of circumstances. Just poor, misguided kids. I've been saying all along, the pusher is the one that should be in jail,
Well,
killing people with the poison that he peddles.
you better talk to Miss Rollins
Oh, well, yeah.
in Suffolk County.
Yeah, exactly.
She wants to, and she's taking it right now, to decriminalize criminal activities.
At some point in time, is the Attorney General, the number one law officer in the state of Massachusetts, going to clear her throat and do something about Rollins?
No,
No,
no.
because she doesn't have the guts.
She doesn't have the balls to do it.
That's right.
And not only is she decriminalizing smaller crimes, now the 30% of those, according to the Globe, are serious crimes that she's also letting go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
How about
if
assault
you're a
and battery
minority-
on a cop?
Yeah, if you're a minority and you get caught with just write it off. Now, how can you stop prosecuting shoplifting? If you put that word out that in Suffolk County, we will not prosecute shoplifters, you couldn't keep stuff on the shelf long enough.
And now, so what do you end up doing? Walmart has to hire security guards, and they have to wrestle with shoplifters,
And then they're gonna let
they
'em
call
go.
the cops.
Yeah, it's so ignorant, so stupid.
Yep. You break the law. The broken windows.
Yeah.
All right. And I got an article in here about the guy that came up with the broken windows theory.
Yep.
That if there's a broken window in the neighborhood, find out who broke it and punish them.
Yep.
Start punishing the little things, and the big things will take care of themselves. Let the little things go, and the big things will proliferate.
Well, I could just see the people that tend to shoplift anyway say, well, hell, we got carte blanche now.
You know what?
We can do whatever we want.
And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? They're going to grab me out in the parking lot and take it all away from me.
Take it all away and just
And,
let me go.
and then they're going to say, get out of here.
Yep.
And here's a letter from the store that says you can't come back in again.
And if I do come back,
Yeah.
they're not going to do anything anyway.
They're not going to recognize me.
Because the district attorney won't
That's
prosecute
right.
it.
Yeah.
I can see there's a really pushback, a big pushback right now from law enforcement and some of the judges too.
Yep.
The judges are actually saying, no, you cannot dismiss this case, which she wants to do. But
Yeah.
she wants to not any minority in her district ever to go to jail.
That's right. There's too many
Unless
blacks
it's
in jail.
Unless it's absolute murder and they caught it on videotape and showed it on the 4 o'clock news.
She said there's too many blacks in jail.
Yep.
Well, apparently they must be doing a lot of crime. So why don't we get them to stop doing crime?
Yeah, that's
We
right.
won't have as many.
We don't
Or-
look at that aspect of it. We don't look at the criminal doing it. We only look at the skin color or the background of it. It's nuts. We got the 5 already.
All right. 4 out of 5 people don't have any idea what household repairs cost, says Home Advisors.
Oh, I'm not surprised with that.
So you go on the internet with Home Advisor, and they start telling you who in your neighborhood is good.
Yep.
You know what? I go to Norfolk Hardware and talk to Ed Hamway.
Yeah.
Or I call Charlie Hewitt, the local handyman carpenter. You know what? They tell me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have to go on the internet, and somebody in Somerville or somebody in Woonsocket, Rhode Island,
right.
and yeah. Ay. By the way, Joe Biden racist. That is,
Oh,
Joe
my God.
Biden is, Joe Biden's Joe Biden. I don't feel strongly one way or the other way
No,
about him.
he doesn't scare me like some
he's
of the others do.
ineffective, Democratic politician.
Yeah.
But to call him a racist is ridiculous.
Oh,
When he was in Congress and he worked with
True, Bill.
Talmadge, Hermie Talmadge,
Yep.
and Jamie Eastman, two segregationist senators, putting together a coalition to pass a roads bill
Yep.
or some other good bill like dental care for poor kids or something. Look, you go and you sit down with people and you strike a compromise. I need your vote on this, Hermie. What can I do for you, you know? Well, I got a bridge in my county that needs to be repaired. All right, I'll vote for that if you'll vote for this.
Yep.
This is horse trading. This is how government is run. Does that make him
No, it
a
doesn't.
racist?
It absolutely
I
does
mean,
not.
this is
But
absolutely
we don't look at it that way. Folks, before we leave,
ridiculous.
today's Sun Chronicle, the headlines, I want you to read it. I'm not going to comment on it now. We'll be talking about this in depth. Read it and see what you think. And if this doesn't make you mad, nothing's going to make you mad. Particularly seniors in this town.
Yep. All right. Well, by gosh, by golly. On that note, the premier annual pass at Disney World now, 1 year. You can go to any Disney World and you can go in as many times as you want.
How much is that?
$2,099.
Oh, well, I'll order a half a dozen of them. I think I'll give them out for Christmas.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, folks, I'm glad you tuned in. I hope you're enjoying the summer. And I want you to behave yourself and be kind to one another. And tune in a couple of weeks, and we will have another fun-filled extravaganza of a
That's
show.
right. You'll be talking about it for weeks.
That's it. And on that note, I was going to say go Red Sox, but I'm afraid that ship is sailed.
We better just not say anything about
leave
it.
that one alone. So anyway, folks, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.